Dr. Fred. I have two questions for you. This is Tuesday Morning Transformation. Here's one question. Are you happy? Or, flip the page, are you fulfilled? Those are two amazing questions. Let's ask them again. Are you happy? Is that what you're doing in life? Is that your goal, just to be happy? Or are you fulfilled? So let's look at those today, because we're spirits on a soul journey. When we look at the definition of happiness, happiness definitely is associated with pleasure. Guess what it's also associated with? Convenience. How boring is that? If everything in life was just convenient, you'd be so bored you'd probably want to shoot yourself, right? It'd be so convenient. Now what's fulfillment? Is doing something, creating something, and finishing what was promised. That's fulfillment. Now here's the thing. Fulfillment and happiness are not the same thing. The life of fulfillment means creating a life of meaning. There's not always happiness there. So if we settle for happiness, people seeking happiness, sometimes happiness comes, sometimes it goes. But people seeking fulfillment, they set a goal, they have a sole purpose, they reach it, even when it's in small steps. And then they have joy and peace. I mean, this is something as simple as let's look at the difference of, hey, I want to put a garden in my backyard. Man, you got to get out there with a shovel, you got to do all this work. That's not friggin' happy, okay? I would not be happy doing all that work. But when you're done and you have this beautiful garden, man, the peace and the joy and accomplishment and significance, that's it. We have kids. Hey, we want to raise great kids and great adults, and we want to move them beyond us. We want to contribute to their lives and help them grow. But is every moment happy? In an interpersonal relationship, do we want fulfillment or happiness? Otherwise, we have moments, and maybe the majority of happiness, but we have moments where we're not very happy. But when we create a great life, then we have fulfillment. So this is a big difference. So if we're spirits on a soul purpose, and we're meant to accomplish and finish and complete something, then we go to happiness. So let's go through the steps. Now here's the deal. I just gave a webinar and a seminar. It's all about leadership. Now what's leadership? Leadership and fulfillment are really the same. Because for fulfillment, we're focused on continual growth and contribution to other people. So it's not about us. When you're becoming a leader, you're focused on growing yourself. What's that mean? It's all about me, right? When you are a leader, you're focused on contributing and growing others. That's the difference between happiness, I could be growing myself, and fulfillment is growing others. And our highest human need and why we're here is to contribute to the growth of other people. Would you agree? So what do leaders do? Hey, they have a vision, a shared vision, where they create an environment. In other words, they create something outside themselves that adds value and fulfillment to other people. So fulfillment and leadership are synonymous. Because if leadership is continual growth and contribution, then we want to create an environment where we create value, right, and fulfillment for others. Doesn't that sound like a family? I mean, at its most basic level, isn't that our family? Don't we want to do that for other people? What else do? They build things for other people. That could be start right in your home. Don't we create an environment where we want to enhance other people? And we don't build things for ourselves, we build them from other people. Now I coach chiropractors and entrepreneurs. And the thing in great leadership in building a business or fulfilling a soul purpose is that we build something. Great leaders create great leaders. So great leaders don't create great employees, or team members. Great leaders create other great leaders, right? A master isn't known for how many students they create. A master is known for how many masters they create. So when you focus on the growth and contribution of other people, your goal is to create people and leaders that do things that are bigger than you are. Now, now what's the product of that? Sometimes we want to create a great life. But when we focus on creating a great life for others, what product do we receive? An amazing life, not just a great life. We have a fulfilling life, which is really joy and peace. So how do we do this? How do we take from where we are into leadership and focusing on others? Well, like we always teach, first it's mindset and then systems. Mindset's how you think, systems are what you do. So how do we know what our mindset is? Well, our relationship with ourself is a reflection and influences the relationship with every other person. So our relationship with ourself, we have a certain view of life. It's like putting on yellow glasses. Hey, we have yellow glasses, and then we wonder why the world's yellow. The world is definitely yellow. I believe the world's yellow, but if someone comes up, takes those off, and put blue glasses on, then you're like, whoa, the world is definitely blue, right? So then we think the relationship with ourself is really just a perspective. Isn't that what Tuesday Morning Transformation is? Going from our humanity to our divinity. Right? So how do we know the relationship with ourselves? Well, first of all, you look at your internal self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? What's your internal language? Is that moving you toward your soul purpose, or is it holding you back? Are you trying to fix problems in your life, or do you contribute to the others where you realize your problems really aren't that bad? Okay, now I'm not taking any credibility or significance that some people have some serious challenges in our life, but every challenge has a gift on the other side that moves us to our soul purpose, because great leaders want to end the suffering of other people. So when we have a challenge and we move through it and we've ended our suffering, then we can teach people how to end their suffering. So number one, how do we talk to ourselves? Number two, how do we determine the relationship with ourselves? What story are we telling? Are we telling the story of our suffering? Or are we telling the story of what we're learning and how we move through it? There are two very different stories. Yellow glasses or blue glasses? Which one do you want to look through? That's our choice. What's the third? How do we talk about other people? Because we're not happy with ourselves, or we're not fulfilled, right? Then we become very critical of others. When we're critical of ourselves because our self-talk criticizes ourselves, our internal language turns into our external language. So what's your self-talk? What story are you telling? How do you talk about others? Well, the next thing on our soul purpose is realizing that we are here for a soul purpose, and we are the only one right now on the face of the planet that can do this, and other people are waiting. Other people's lives are dependent on us fulfilling that. So the first thing is realizing that if we don't fulfill our soul purpose, other people's lives won't change. Step one, responsibility. So we got to know that. Step two, we will succeed. We make this commitment that we are going to do it. We will fulfill it. There's no turning back. Failure is not an option, and we will get there. And when we do that, then that gives us power, and it gives us purpose, that we're not stopped by the conditions outside us because we have an internal reference point. We've already managed our self-talk. We've already changed our glasses. We've changed our story. We're not critical of others because we respect others, because we love ourselves. We know we have a soul purpose to fulfill. We are going to do it. And because we're a spiritual being, we know that He that is in us is greater than anything that's outside of us. So we have an internal reference point. Now we realize this purpose gives us fuel. Purpose is fuel, it's not success. Right? Fulfillment isn't happiness, but we have purpose. What's purpose give us? It gives us courage, it gives us determination, it gives us stamina, because we have to develop skill. Continual growth doesn't always feel good. Right? Continual contribution doesn't always feel good, but we manage our state, and when we move through it, then we complete something, then we have joy and peace, which is so much more than happiness. And when we take everything that we've gone through in the last 5 or 8 or 10 minutes, then we realize I don't have to push the boulder uphill to reach and fulfill the vision. I can have my future and the vision pull me right into it. So would you rather push and strain, or would you rather be pulled by fulfillment? So are you happy? Are you seeking happiness? Or are you seeking fulfillment?